I don't like, I just don't want to see y'all's freaking nipples in public. Like, I'm sorry that you're offended. I don't want to see your nipples. Keep it to yourself. You can put, it's super easy. My mom had 5 kids. She had a little blanket that she would put over us if she had to breastfeed, or she would go into the restroom. Why wouldn't you want to cover your baby's face?
Well, do you want your face covered when you eat?
My face was covered when I ate.
No. When you eat normally now, do you want your face covered?
No, but I'm also not sucking on breasts. Laughing because you guys have yes, you guys have no principles on this. You're just making shit up. And then when I give you an equal argument for the other side, you think it's ridiculous. You think it's totally ridiculous when I show you your consistency with other examples. You don't want that anymore. You immediately back off of it as soon as I show.
You have to eat, that is natural. You have to pop a squat on the side of the road on 66, then fine.
Yes, that's illegal though.
So you how many nipples do you see a day?
I stopped going out in public because I'm afraid of women sexually harassing me now. Oh, because you could do it with a towel and make absolutely no difference, Tom, but you choose to do it in the way where I'm going to see them now. It's just an accident that I'm going to happen to see your tits now. You didn't want it, but you could have just put a towel over and totally avoided the entire situation and chose not to, and I'm supposed to pretend it was all an accident that I ended up seeing your tits, right?
So at that moment we kind of realized, oh, this is kind of our thing, and we have to sort of push at the edges of our conventional relationship, and the people will be incapable. Well, I mean,
ain't
mostly
not conventional.
Well, I mean, we sleep with other girls, but off camera, our relationship is entirely traditional.
Crazy. All right. So what I'm really trying to figure out is, because you said you were uncomfortable with the Jason Love scene initially, right?
I was a little conflicted about it. It was a little bit of a weird thing.
And so
yeah, last night, that's what Rollo Tomasi was talking about when we were watching him talk about Destiny, is he was talking about the fact that Destiny is a grifter, and that Destiny is like Adam22, where they'll, you know, talk about how he wants his wife to have sex with other men, but then once they have sex with other men, then all of a sudden he's like super uncomfortable about it, and that it was all just a game, and that he just wanted the views, and that he knew he was going to be uncomfortable with it the entire time. I don't, like, did he get jealous? Does anybody know? What is the... He didn't say grifter. He said a con man is what he said. He said Destiny and Adam22 are con men. But as the whole time he went on explaining it, it became abundantly obvious that he has literally no idea what a con man is. But no, he was saying Adam22 orchestrated this whole thing for another man to sleep with his wife, and then he got jealous afterwards, and that he thought it was just outrage bait, where he wanted everybody to get freaked out about the fact that he was going to let somebody else have sex with his wife, and then once the person had sex with his wife, he knew that he was going to get jealous afterwards, so that he could continue pushing the outrage bait. And it was really stupid. It's Rollo Tomasi. The guy's got a brain of like a 4-year-old. I have no idea, but he had absolutely no idea what a con man was. But he kept saying the most random things. Like, he would say something was a con man, and then he would say, like, Destiny's a con man. He'll help women prep for debates behind the scenes so that they can come debate me. Wait, what? Why are you calling that a con man? Like, this has nothing to do with a con man. Those are not cons. That's just a normal thing. What are you talking about? But he kept saying that over and over. He was explaining what con men were, and then whatever it was that he like gave as an example was not a con in any fashion whatsoever.
I'm trying to figure out like where your soul is, and as much as like removing money from the equation. And honestly, at this point, I don't even think money is really the driving force.
Yeah, just to get it out there, me and her are both multimillionaires and have been for many, many years. Yeah,
right, exactly. So money's not the driving force. So if it were just up to you and she were a robot as opposed to a human, and you could have it to where you could have things open on your side but closed on her side, would you prefer that?
To be honest, she came to me before we started kind of pushing out the boundaries of our relationship, and she said, what do you think that we should do? Do you think that I should just kind of hang it up and have another kid? Or do you think that we should keep doing this for a few more years and kind of...
Yeah, I've talked about a bunch that I don't like that all of these platforms are allowing breastfeeding onto their platforms, because a lot of people are using it as like kink play, where women, like porn stars, are showing their children sucking on their tits, and it's like it is purposefully meant to be a sexual thing. Him and his wife did this, where they keep posting videos of their kid sucking on her tits on like Twitter and on YouTube and all over the place. So now they just have like an easy way to post porn, and it's not even that I care that they're posting porn, and it's not that I care that it's like more easily accessible, or that it's fetish shit, or that it's like, I don't care about any of that. I care that they're using a freaking kid for porn. That's what I don't like. I don't like that there is a kid in the video or the freaking porn that people are getting off to. That's the part I don't like. That's the part I think is disgusting. That's my issue. And so, yeah, so all of these people are posting videos of little kids sucking on their tits, and but it's like all the people, you know, it's all the usual suspects. It's the freaking porn stars and the OnlyFans girls and the, you know, the people who are always trying to push the limits. It's pretty disgusting to me. But yeah, all of these platforms keep making it to where like, oh no, we need to free the nipple. We need to make it to where women can breastfeed openly. Well done. You did it. Good job. Thanks so much for that, motherfuckers. Couldn't have seen this one coming, eh? That's really, this was hard to imagine, I suppose. Okay, cool. I'm the only one who was like who kept saying I think this is freaking weird to do, but whatever. Whatever, dude. I'm sexist and I hate women, and yeah, that's what it is.
To see how far we can take things, and I said, you know what? Let's push at the edges. Let's see how far we can take this. So, it is primarily a financial thing, but also I can say that when we shot the scene with this other guy,
Free the Nipple was about breastfeeding. Yes, a lot of it was. So breastfeeding is like a huge part of Free the Nipple. I think that was like the main pusher of Free the Nipple, was that women should be able to breastfeed in public. And I remember getting into like really public debates about this all over the place. Even on like, I remember on Facebook, I went off on rants about the fact that like, I just don't want to see y'all's freaking nipples in public. Like, I'm sorry that you're offended. I don't want to see your fucking nipples. Keep it to yourself. You can it's super easy. My mom had 5 kids. She had a little blanket that she would put over us if she had to breastfeed, or she would go into the restroom. Not that hard. You're not asking a lot. There's not a big complication there. But yeah, people would make a really big deal about the fact that women couldn't breastfeed in public. And like, also, I'm sorry, but I'm a guy and like I just like tits. So whether sometimes I would like to just not have to be such a freaking animal and be able to focus on things without thinking about sex for like half a second, and then you get your tits whipped out with someone sucking on them, and never mind.
The other day, I had a great time. It was fun.
Like your time was enhanced because he was there. Because me personally, I like my meat to be the only one on the sandwich. You're
right. No, it was exciting. It was exhilarating for sure.
Like, what kind of hot dog? It's just like one hot dog on the buns. You're be like, you got all these Vienna sausages coming out the woodwork. So you find that it's enhanced by that? Because I find like
I wonder if they have an age limit on this. Like, I wonder if I could just go out in public with my girlfriend and just start sucking on her tits, and they would be like, oh, it's okay, because...
That was fun, yeah.
Okay.
In a different way than, you know, sleeping with other girls. We've done that hundreds of times together. Right. So this was something that switched it up a little bit, yeah.
Do you think with all of these unusual sexual experiences that it might lead you down a path to where you have to go to extreme things to get off?
No, I've been jerking off to the exact same type of content my entire life. So the idea that guys who watch porn have to sort of slowly get into more and more extreme
I'm not talking
content.
about watching it. You're in it.
Right, yeah. But I mean, I've been doing porn on camera with her,
yeah.
And this is the only thing that we've done that took it to another level. You know, if we
Tomfoolery show, OMG, Tom, breastfeeding is a natural process. Please tell me you're freaking kidding. I mean, so is guys jacking off to tits, so that's why it's freaking weird in public. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, people are always like, why do you have a problem with breastfeeding? It's natural. I'm like, yeah, so is me jizzing on somebody's face, but you don't want me doing that in public, do you? Like, I don't know why you think this is a good argument.
We did 7 years straight of just having sex with other girls on camera. This is the only thing that we've done that kind of opened it up a little bit to the tune of.
This is the thing. Every time a woman actually, like, unironically says to me, like, oh, no, I think we should free the nipple, I always say, okay, so do you think, like, let's say, like, breasts are just totally, like, allowed to be open in public, like, women walk around without their shirts on and shit. It's totally normal. Men are going to be totally, like, desensitized to breasts. Like, they're only a sexual thing because we make them into a sexual thing. So, like, we're not going to care anymore that you have, like, nice tits or anything. Like, it's not going to be, you know, this thing that we gawk over and make a big deal about anymore. Is that the world that you want? Like, you want people to just, like, not really care about your tits anymore? And I feel like every time they're like, well, no, that doesn't sound good. I think I would rather breasts to continue being sexualized.
Of us becoming, like, probably one of the most viral couples in America in the past year. So in terms of where we could take it, I mean, I'm not doing any gay shit. And so that's probably, like, the primary thing. We've had, obviously, people asking us if we would ever shoot with a trans person. I'm not interested in that either. So I can't really think of where we would take it.
Okay, without belaboring it, I'm gonna let you carry on.
Sure.
Just one last piece. You know, sometimes we aren't really, you know, seeing ourselves in as much as you said she brought the conversation to you. You said that you didn't feel comfortable initially with the Jason Love being involved in.
Well, I agreed to the Jason Love thing. It was just, once it actually took place, I had a tiny amount of buyer's remorse that I quickly replaced with realizing, like, oh, this is not a big deal. Nothing changed in our relationship after she shot with another guy. So that was pretty abated quickly. Right.
So it's like called the inversion of morals, which is to say that truth be told, in your heart of hearts, you're not comfortable with it. You want to retain your spouse.
I've had moments of
one second. I didn't interrupt you.
With it,
I didn't interrupt you at all because I do want to hear you out.
Yeah, but you're like making shit up for him. Tom would get hard if he saw his mom's tits. Actually, generally, people like aren't ever going to really be attracted to their own family members. So even if they are, like, close to what they would be attracted to, studies generally show that the closer somebody is related to you, there's just not much. There's a ton of different things that go into it. Smell is, like, the first thing that tons of people bring up, but all right, we'll give this another try. Hello.
Hey Tom, how are you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I just have an issue about the breastfeeding thing.
Uh-huh.
The issue is I had my kid in 2008, and I never did feel comfortable just freeing the nipple. I didn't, women leak. You have no idea what they go through. And when I would leak, I'd be like, oh shit, be embarrassed. And now women can, and they should, and I wish I would have done that instead of covering my baby's face when I breastfed my child.
Why
What?
wouldn't you want to cover your baby's face?
Do you want your face covered when you eat?
My face was covered when I ate.
No. When you eat normally now, do you want your face covered?
No, but I'm also not sucking on breasts.
Okay.
If I was
But
sucking on breasts, yes, I would want my face covered. 100%. Yes.
okay. But you do realize, okay, whatever. But so the baby latches on the nipple. You can't see the nipple. All you really do is see is the breast.
That's not true.
And
But
is it your issue that it makes you feel uncomfortable? Or is it your
I mean,
issue?
I just went over like a bunch of different issues. Like, obviously, it is like a kink thing for a lot of people too. Just like
It's not
breasts are
for a
like
lot of people.
attractive in general. You can't say like, oh, well, I'm using the breast for a different thing now, so people will no longer like have any sort of like sexual reaction to it because I decided that this time I don't want it to be sexual. Like, you don't decide what other people find sexual. Like, that's not a thing that you can decide for everybody else. It's still going
Of
to be
course.
sexual. And so yeah, it's not as simple as like,
Yeah.
I'm
But
breastfeeding, so it's totally different now.
you don't decide if like you said, like a 14-year-old girl walking around in random shorts that she may look sexual, and then you're like, oh shit, she's 14 or 16, whatever. Oh shit, don't look at her sexual, right?
Sure, I would
See
also
that, have
expect
you not?
parents to not let their daughters walk around dressing super sexy or like in like really short shorts and shit. Yeah.
No, but Tom, have you not said there have been pictures where you're like, oh shit, that's a
I don't
16-year-old or 17-year-old that I found sexual
sure.
for a minute,
Sure.
right?
I've said that yes, yeah,
I
that
seen you
there's like
correct?
yeah, that there's yeah, I've said that there's times that like yes, that there's people who are younger that you find attractive. You're saying sexual, sure, but that yeah,
Well, okay,
like that there's
attractive,
people that I found
whatever.
attractive, yes. But this is like there's a massive difference between like
How? From feeding your child. What are breasts made for?
what are penises made for? It doesn't matter. I still can't show my penis in public.
They're made
it's
for
not relevant.
sexual intercourse. Penises are made for sexual intercourse.
They're also made for peeing. So if I'm peeing now, is
No,
it okay to show it in public? That's not sexual.
that has nothing to do with, no.
No, it's natural. It's
But-
natural and it's not sexual in this case. In this scenario,
And
it's
how
no longer
many boys
sexual.
do you
I'm just
know?
peeing in public.
Do you want to say it's natural? Fine. Then how many boys do you know that just pee wherever the hell they want?
I don't know any women who show their breasts in public either.
I'm saying how many boys or even men just pee wherever the hell they want?
None.
Is it
I don't know any
sexual?
women who breastfeed wherever they want either.
Wait, no. You're getting off the topic. We're
I'm
talking about
not.
sexual.
Yeah, we
What
are
is the
talking about
issue?
sexual.
Okay, so what is the issue with a woman feeding her child
I already told you.
and
Why are you
not
asking me the same
covering it?
question? I already
I'm not.
told you.
So
You're asking me this. It's still the same answer.
what's the answer?
It's still the same answer. The breasts are sexualized, that people are still going to find them as sexual objects, that they're like, you can't decide what other people are going to like get turned on by. I think that there's reasonable lines to draw. Like, if there's people who have foot fetishes, that doesn't mean that like we're going to we're going to like stop allowing feet in public, but that's why we call it a fetish, is because it's very different to find feet attractive. It's not different to find breasts attractive. That's not a rare thing.
That's okay, so when a child is breastfeeding, it's a natural, it's a beautiful, and it's actually very bonding.
Me
type of thing.
pissing on somebody's
And
face is kind of bonding as well. Have you ever pissed on somebody before?
no. This is completely different.
Why?
Because when you breastfeed your child, there is a bond that the child can see, and
when you meet somebody that you love and they love you and they want you to piss on them,
between a child and a mother, and it's also skin to skin contact.
wait, but why does that matter? Why do I care?
I have to fucking breastfeed. Have you ever, okay, men, okay, blue balls,
I have
right?
to piss.
You've heard of blue balls, right?
Yeah, it's not a real thing.
Okay. Well, of course, according to men, there's blue balls, and they've got to express themselves. They've got to do it.
But it's not it's fake.
A real thing.
It's not a real thing.
I understand that.
Okay.
But what is a real thing is when a woman is sitting there with her child and is not embarrassed and takes out their breasts to feed their child. What is the difference from a cow feeding their cat and a woman feeding their child?
Are you a cow?
But you have to cover. No, I'm not a cow. Of course not.
Are you sure?
But it's still natural.
I don't care. You keep saying it's natural like that matters. Me pissing is natural. You don't want me to piss. So you don't care about natural. Stop bringing up natural like you think that matters. You don't think it matters because when I bring up other natural things, you don't care about it. So natural does not matter to you.
No, you talked, okay, you were talking about sex, okay, natural, fine. Everyone just fuck on the beach, whatever, who fucking cares? What? That's different. Feeding is, okay, so do you, when you eat from now on, do you want me to cover your face? Or do you want me to bring you to a bathroom where there are people shitting and pissing?
Yes, if I'm eating from somebody's tits, yes, I think you should probably cover my face 100%.
No. Okay, so I should cover your. No, I'm not saying eating is natural, right?
So is pissing.
Oh, yes, and you go somewhere private. But when you
same for breastfeeding.
When you
same for breastfeeding. When you breastfeed, you go somewhere private.
As a 30-year-old man, do you go to the bathroom and eat?
If I'm eating from breasts, yes, I will go somewhere private for sure.
So no, you're not.
Yes, I do. If I'm eating from breasts, I do go somewhere private. I am not doing that in public. I promise.
You're not eating. If you're a 30-year-old man, you're not eating for nutrients.
I got sharp teeth.
Tom.
What?
There is a difference between having a... Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Is someone else
Tom,
there?
I'm here. Okay, Tom, pissing in public is a hygiene issue.
Hold on. I'm not arguing with 5 different people.
You don't want people just pissing
at
everywhere.
Once. I don't. Yes. Okay, that's fine.
What?
That's her argument is about it being natural, not about it being not about hygiene or anything. Her argument is about natural. Okay, if I go pee up against a tree on the side of the interstate, it's not a freaking hygiene issue, but nobody wants to see my penis as they're driving by anyways. It's not a hygiene issue at all. That is not the problem.
If you were on the side of the road and you really had to pee, first of all, you would be going further, and probably someone put a towel up, and if
why
not,
would I go further? Why would I go further? It's natural.
You've never been on a long distance drive and you pop a squat. Women have done that, and it sucks ass.
Yeah,
but they
my mom breastfed a bunch of kids on long drives as well, and she covered up every time.
Well, I feel bad for your mother. Just like I said, when I had my child, I felt like I had to feel shame, and that was in 2008.
You don't have to
I
feel
felt
shame. Nobody's telling you to feel shame.
I felt like
That's
I
not
couldn't just
That's what
feed
you're
my
doing right now.
child.
good. Yes, good. Don't do it. Nobody wants to see your tits.
But the fact is I
Or why don't
felt
you just not look? Grow the fuck up.
right.
What do you mean don't look? You're in
Tom,
public.
you're...
Well, I'm not.
Then
It has nothing to
look
do with
and
me
be
looking.
free.
You're in my freaking face. You're in
Oh,
my space
no.
now.
Then Tom,
Don't
look
say,
and
oh
be
no.
free.
If I show you my
Then
penis, you're
Public
going to
is
get super
everyone's
upset
face.
about it. No, yes, and
Then
if I
Stop
show you my
comparing it to your
penis, you're
fucking
going to get...
penis.
No, you are inconsistent. You have no principles on this. You just want to make shit up because you want to show everybody your tits and
am I
nobody
making
wants to
up?
see them. Put your tits
Who
away.
am I
Keep them
showing my
in your pants.
to?
Keep them in your shirt.
I'm
Nobody
showing
wants
my
to see them.
baby
Tom,
my
I know you
nipple.
think everybody
bad
wants to
faith.
see your tits, but they don't want to see them.
What?
Okay, Tom, you know what?
I'm
A
telling
super
you
tired
from
mother who's exhausted trying to feed her baby is like, yeah, this is a time where I can feed my baby, but also turn Tom on. You're so bad faith and so horrendous right now.
Oh, because
Fuck.
you could do it
and
with a towel
and
and
you know
make
what?
absolutely
You
no
know what,
difference,
Tom?
but
If
you
you
choose
want
to
to,
do it in the way
Oh, you
Tom,
to
could
where
just
I'm going to see
not.
them now.
if you
It's
want
just an
to,
accident that I'm going to happen to see your tits now. You didn't want it, but you could have just put a towel over and totally avoided the entire situation and chose not to. And I'm supposed to pretend it was all an accident that that I ended up seeing your
This
tits,
is the
right? That's what
biggest
I'm supposed to believe.
bro argument you've ever made.
are you kidding me?
You guys
I'm
have no consistency on
telling
this.
you,
You have
in
zero consistency on
2008,
this. You think
2008,
because you're
after
women, you're special.
I
That's what
felt
it
like
is. And you're not special. Nobody wants to
no,
see
no,
your
no,
tits.
no, no, no,
You
no, no,
think you can get away with everything
no.
just because you're women, and I don't want you to get away with it. I draw the line
Get
at
away
seeing
with
your
what?
tits out in
You're being
public
mad
when
because
I'm
God
walking
forbid you
around.
see boobs as non-sexual for 2 fucking seconds. Shove it, like, give me a break.
Get away with what? You want us to get away with what? What are we getting away with? With feeding our
Tom, you're
child?
laughing. This. How can I take this seriously? We should leave, Jess. We should just leave because Tom is laughing. He thinks he's so smart. And
I'm
he just
laughing
likes
because
boobs
you
to be
guys have no,
sexual.
yes, you guys have no principles on this. You're just making shit up. And then when I give you an
What am I
equal
making
argument
up?
for the
What
other
am I
side,
making
you
up?
think it's ridiculous.
No, no, no,
You
no,
think
no,
it's
no.
totally
What am I
ridiculous when
making up?
I show you your consistency with other examples. You don't want that anymore. You immediately back
What
off
did
of
I
it as
say?
soon as
If
I
you
show.
have to pee, that is natural. If you have to pop a squat on the side of the road on 66, then fine.
Yes,
And
that's
if
illegal though.
it's
Hey, can I
no,
throw a
what?
quick question out for you guys? I just want to test your consistency a little more in a different way.
Let me finish my
Oh
consistency
god.
real quick for just a minute.
Okay,
Finish your
If you have to
consistency.
pee, that is natural. And if you're on a freaking highway and you have to pee and you're on Route 66, okay, and then women have done it. I've done it. I've been in the desert and I've done it when I was a little kid. And you try to, but whatever. If someone's peeing, then fuck it, they're peeing. That's natural. Who cares? It's their peeing.
Okay, but
It's
I
also
assume you're
illegal.
I
also
don't know
away from like people
why they're
kind of like
peeing.
private area, kind of like what Tom's been saying this whole time. My question was going to be,
Again,
all right,
hygiene,
so
genitals.
my question was going to be, so we're going to destigmatize breastfeeding, so it's cool to do everywhere, right? Women can just feel comfortable doing that, right?
If their baby's hungry, yes.
Okay. I don't know if you guys know this about me. I support single mothers. I go to strip clubs. It's a lot of fun. Would you be comfortable with those moms getting off the pole with all those horny dudes around and breastfeeding there?
Are they breastfeeding
Well,
while
would a
they're
stripper be
acting?
allowed to bring their child into that establishment in the first place?
They're just doing a natural function. What's the problem?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
hypothetical.
Are they acting? Are they dancing and strip clubbing?
Yeah, they're strippers.
No, I mean, are they dancing and they're doing it? Are they dancing and doing all that?
No, she just got out. She just got off the pole. Goes off to the side. Goes off to the corner. Still topless. Kid
Okay.
latches onto her.
Okay.
We're okay with this?
I mean, I
Yeah, you see
really
that
don't.
uncomfortable feeling you're getting right now? That reason you don't
No,
want to just say yes?
no. There,
Yes, it's
it
uncomfortable
is
to bring a
uncomfortable.
child into a strip club.
Yes,
This is
it is
so stupid.
uncomfortable.
Dang,
But they
Liz, I
Why?
also,
have to go make
Why?
supper. Liz is gonna fight. I
but
gotta
then you
go.
have changing rooms where you don't have to cover the child's head,
Oh,
right?
see, we're okay then if we're going back into
No
private,
one's
though.
covering the child's head. No one's in the bathroom. That's what I'm saying. No child should be eating in the bathroom, and no child should be eating with their head covered. That's my principle.
Why? Why?
Why? Because do
Yes,
you want
I
to
ate with
eat
my
with your
head.
head covered?
I ate. Yes, I
Do you
did.
want to eat?
I've said this 100 times, Jessica. I've said
You
this
did
over
when
and
you
over.
were a
Yes,
baby, but I'm
I.
saying right now, as an adult,
We're only
as an
talking about
adult,
little babies. I'm not telling you to do this with adults. So if you want to talk about doing this with adults, we can have a completely different conversation. If you're breastfeeding adults in public, this is going to be a whole different conversation than what I thought we were having. But
no,
if we're
that's
talking
not
about
what I
breastfeeding
mean.
babies, okay, then if we're talking about breastfeeding babies, then have a conversation with me about breastfeeding babies. If you want to
I'm
change the
okay,
subject to
fine.
adults doing it, we can talk about
But
adults
you're
doing it.
saying you
But
were fine with it. How do you know you were fine with it, Tom? You were a baby. You don't know that.
what do you mean? I wasn't crying. I wasn't screaming and freaking out. I was just breastfeeding.
Okay, what about babies that do scream and freak out when they're covered?
You
There
should
are babies like
probably
that. Do you not know that?
take them somewhere else so everybody else doesn't have to hear them
You should
scream and
take them
cry.
somewhere else.
I hate having to hear babies scream and cry when I'm out in public.
I was okay with it. So yes, babies are different. And I'm telling you this up front. I had my child at 2008 and I was uncomfortable with the whole thing. And you know what? I wish I could have just relieved myself and I could have fed my baby. First of all, you don't know what it feels like to have engorged breasts and have to find some place before you leak all over the place. Why not just fucking feed your child?
I don't
And
think
why
Tom's
not?
issue is you breastfeeding. His issue is you doing it in public. If you want to find like a closet,
Or without a
How the
cover. I
government
don't
got
even
a
care. I don't
bathroom?
even have a problem. I don't even have a problem doing it in public. Again, like most women do it. They just do it
right?
with a cover.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
understand that, but so what if they don't?
We've already been over that. You're not going to respond to those. You keep going in
Yeah,
circles
exactly.
where I'm answering all of your questions, but you can't respond to mine.
You're what are you
You don't
questioning
have
from?
your I've said over and over, if like you're saying it's natural, okay, fine. Well, here's some other natural things. Are you okay with that? You say no. You say,
And
well,
I
it's
no, no,
feeding. Do
I
you
didn't
want
say no.
you
I said if you have to pee and I see your penis and you had to pee so bad and I saw your penis, it's fine.
okay,
You
but
have
the
to
point
pee.
is that it's still illegal.
So
It
what else
doesn't
am I?
matter.
What else is my argument? What else is natural that is
I'm
my
saying it
argument?
doesn't matter because it's still illegal. The point is that you can say, oh, yes, this is fine. It's illegal for us to do these things. This is sexual harassment for us to just show our penises. It's indecent
I
exposure.
didn't
Even if we're
say
peeing
that,
on the
did
side of
I?
the... I didn't say you said that. I'm telling you that these things are still illegal. Like you acting like, oh, well, it's okay. For you, maybe it's okay. For other people, it's not. For the majority of people, it's not.
Okay, but my argument is whatever. That's if you're peeing, you're
Okay.
peeing. If you have to fucking
Okay.
piss, then piss.
So, okay. So I'm at like, I'm at a restaurant. I go out to the back where there's woods. People can see me out the window and I just start peeing on the wood, on the trees out there and they can see my penis. You're cool with this.
Is there circumstances why you can't use the restroom?
Are there circumstances why you can't put a cover over your tits?
Because I don't know. Have you ever had something over your face and it's kind of a little hard to breathe?
Not really, no. I wore a mask all throughout COVID.
Yeah, and I remember actually when I wore my mask, I remember wearing it, and I remember going, Jesus Christ, I fucking it's it gave me I hated wearing the mask. It made it hard for me to breathe. So maybe people are different. And so babies are different. And if a person, and also that's the other thing, when a baby's hungry, usually their breasts enlarge and they get hard and they get uncomfortable and they start to, you've heard of leaking,
Yeah, again, I'm
correct?
not telling, yes, again, I'm not saying
Yes,
don't
and cover their
breastfeed.
face.
I'm not saying
There
don't
are
breastfeed.
different babies and there are different. Okay, fine. I mean, but that's not fair. Why can't you just freaking breastfeed your baby just because you think, I mean, if you think it's sexual, then fine. Things is sexual. Look at the fucking woman's tits. Whatever. That's your issue. Not the mom feeding the baby's issue.
It's not, it is my issue that you're sexually harassing me in public. I don't
I'm
appreciate it.
how am I sexually I have no way sexually you.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
feeding
showing
you
me your tits.
child.
I don't want to see them.
I'm
I
not
feel
showing you my
violated.
tits. I'm showing you my tits just as much as someone with a plunge. When you moved that, when you moved your screen over, when you moved whatever was blocking that girl's cleavage over earlier, that's just probably just about, maybe a little bit more, but just about as much tits you're going to see, unless you actually see the mom open it up and show her tits. But when she finally gets the kid to latch on, or if maybe she cover herself, kid latches on and she uncovers herself. And guess what? When you moved that little that square that was showing that lady's cleavage, that's about as much as you're gonna see.
I've seen women breastfeeding. I can see their nipples pretty regularly.
You can't see their nipples. Their children are sucking them. How can you see their nipples, Tom?
You
You were
know there are
quiet
different
for a
sizes
minute
of
and
nipples,
had to.
right? You know there are
I'm sorry?
different sizes of nipples. There's lots
Yes,
of
I do
nipples
know
that
that.
women have that there's no shot an entire, like, babies' mouths are not even big enough
More than
to come
likely,
close to those.
more than likely, Tom, you know this, more than likely, what you did earlier is just about as much of the tit you're going to see once the baby latches on.
Stop sexually harassing people in public, Jessica. Not good.
You got caught.
I got caught with what?
What do you're silent. I've never heard you silent before.
I've already gone in circles with you on this over and over and over.
Yeah, we
You're not
went
making
circles
sense.
and then I'm not making sense. I
Yes.
brought up the cleavage part and now you are silent.
Wait, what that?
Are you not?
Oh my goodness. Okay, yes, I'm silent. You win. I don't know if you're drunk, but this isn't
I'm
making
not
sense.
drunk.
Okay, I promise you, this is not making sense. It does not make sense. I have
Oh.
no idea what you even think the argument was about cleavage. Like, I can't imagine why you think that
I
that
brought
was
up the
something.
fact that you moved when earlier before we got on the breastfeeding thing, you moved that whatever you had in front of the lady's cleavage, and I said that's about as much that's about as much of the breast you're going to see, and you had
Yeah,
nothing
I'm
to
telling you that.
respond with.
Yeah, I'm telling you that you're wrong. It literally, it's called free the nipple for a reason. But either way, I'm telling you that you're wrong.
But you didn't say that until I said you had
I
nothing to
know I
say.
did say
You
that. I literally
silent.
did say that. I did say that. I literally said that lots of kids' mouths are not big enough to fit over the nipple. I literally did say that.
And then I said, no, that's you didn't. I said most of the time. I said most of the time. That's all you will see.
Yeah, I just disagree. You're wrong.
I'm wrong.
Yes.
So how many nipples do you see a day?
I stopped going out in public because I'm afraid of women sexually harassing me now.
Okay, I shouldn't even said I
Women are
had
dangerous.
with that because you were quiet when I brought that up.
Wait, what? I said
You were quiet when I brought that up. When I
I
brought
don't
up the
know if you
fact that
just I don't know if you
you
just
were
couldn't hear
quiet
me or what. But I responded and said, okay, thanks. Like, I don't this isn't, I honestly, I don't think you're understanding the arguments. Like, I don't, you're just moving from one thing to another. None of this is consistent. None of it makes sense. It can't make sense. It's literally impossible to make sense. It's just more like, hey, like, we can make special exceptions for women as usual because they're women, and everybody else has to put up with it. And yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's weird to feed your child. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, I know that's not what you said, but like it's weird just to feed your child when you, I mean, okay.
All right. Thanks,
I agree
Jessica.
to disagree. Bye.
Later. I don't really care about breastfeeding. It's not that big of a deal. I just I just think people's arguments about it are stupid, but I don't really care.
Kind of pushing like a fake narrative by saying that I'm uncomfortable with it.
But I never interrupted you.
Very comfortable
I never interrupted you because I want to hear you out.
I just wanted to save you a little bit of breath by correcting you before you
I'm
got
not trying
into
to get you angry. I sincerely am interested in what you have to say, but I didn't interrupt you one time. So the reason I ask is because, as I said, you started off, you said that you felt uncomfortable when it happened. She brought up the conversation. You're not bisexual. So sometimes when things happen and you want to keep your lady, you make the adjustment compromising, but in your heart of heart, that's not really what you wanted. So you're being open, and then you had this idea planted, and then you start adopting it thinking like, okay, well, I'm okay with it. Maybe it's something that I signed off on too. So you assign it mutuality when in actual fact, the inception of that idea came from her and you've adjusted to it.
I wouldn't say the inception of the idea came entirely from her. This is a conversation we've been having throughout the entirety of our relationship.